We have had 7 days of continuous rough weather. One either sat on the floor or stayed below. I chose the former alternative and found the experiment in maintaining a physical equilibrium not without interest.
And here was this woman who had this incredible vision. She knew it was important. She wanted to pass it on, and we showed up, so that must have been pretty funny.
In retrospect, I have to say I'm shocked how much of what she predicted in her visionary mind has now been validated by the last few decades of international fascia research.
Ida, Pauline, Rolf.
It was July 30th of 1905 at 4:30 in the afternoon when tragedy struck.
My father sweated to get me through college. It happened at a point in his life when money was not easy.
She had an idea that was really beyond what most people think about.
I would get to the end of his lecture and go out into the spring sunshine of Zurich, wondering where on earth I was and how I had gotten there, and what was the significance of my being there, and what could I do next.
I found that touched me the most about her was that ability to just look.
I remember speculating as I was traveling on a train in Europe as to what was going to happen to behavior if you changed chemistry.
It had something to do with being vertical and not hunched over and all of that stuff. And that got taken to extremes by things like the Hitler Youth and the Communist Youth in Europe, those massive movements of the gymnastic movement.
One thinker wrestling with the immense Germany was Wilhelm Reich.
Dr. Rolf referred and referenced Wilhelm Reich a lot. It was more directed towards the male frozen pelvis.
In 1933, the year Hitler rose to power in Germany, Korzybski had published Science and Sanity with the aim of enhancing human understanding and communication.
I had read Science and Sanity. For me, it was the first time anybody had applied engineering principles to language.
Omama was a spiritual person.
Gurdjieff had told his students that he was not the ultimate teacher, that one would come who was greater than he, from the East. You need to test the metaphysical notions against reality, and that, to me, is what is important in structural integration.
She hadn't felt like she had really been understood and received.
Have been having quite a bad time with heart situation up until Wednesday, 11/20. Symptoms included great anxiety, feeling of end of life, an end of activity, a profound something very wrong.
She was driving around the S-curves, on US Route 1, foot pegged to the floor, as fast as it could go.
When the news finally reached me that as a topic of discussion in the Esalen Bath, structural integration had displaced sex, then I knew we had it made.
She wanted to make sure that her work was left intact.
She broke down the barrier between traditional allopathic medicine and alternative health care. She broke that wall down with her integrity, her character, and her tremendous will to find the truth.